Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Preeti Sivaj and today we are going to look at various branches of linguistics. So if you are interested, please on my channel, hit the like button, don't miss any update regarding my channel and please don't forget to press the bell icon. Let's start the video. So various branches of linguistics. So linguistics is branches of linguistics are divided into two parts, which are microlinguistics and macrolinguistics. So in microlinguistics we deals with phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics. So these are internal branches of linguistics. We study these branches within the language itself, wherever the macrolinguistics are further divided into two parts: interdisciplinary and intradisciplinary. So in interdisciplinary we deals with language with other fields like sociolinguistics, language with society, psycholinguistics, language with mind, computational linguistics. So in the in Google, internet, how language is used, how language is made. And then intradisciplinary, it is the expanded field of language or linguistics. So it is within language, in which we deals with stylistics, applied linguistics, discourse analysis, etc. So first of all we are going to look at microlinguistics. So these are core internal branches of linguistics that study only language itself, not society, not culture. So we are not going to deal with the other fields or the other background, but we are going to look at only the language itself. So we are going to look at its parts. First of all, phonetics. So what is phonetics? Phonetics deals with sounds, how we produce sounds, how sound goes further and how the receiver receives it. So it deals with production, transmission, how the sound waves goes, and it deals with that how receiver receives it. So here is three subfields: articulatory phonetics, which deals with production. Then we have its example like P. So when we are pronouncing P, both our lips coming together, and when we are opening our mouth like P, and they are opening, they are burst open. Then we have acoustic phonetics. It deals with transmission. So how our physical sounds are going. So like I am pronouncing the words, how it is going or traveling in the air, how these words are coming out of my mouth. So acoustic phonetics deals with the sound waves, how they are occurring or coming from my mouth. So the pitch, the tone I am using. So acoustic phonetics deals with that. For example, the man's and women's voice both pitch are different. Man's voice are likely more higher than women's voice. Then auditory phonetics. So auditory phonetics, auditory, which comes odd means hear. Here the root word is odd. Odd means hearing something. So how the receiver, how the ears of receiver receives the sounds the other produced. For example, how we hear s versus sh, like sip and ship. So the receiver can interpret that the s in sip is different from the sound sh in ship. So this was all about phonetics. Now let's look at phonology. So what is phonology? Phonology is basically sound system of a language. So the whole system, how it works, phonology deals with that. So not just sounds, but how they function in a language, how they work out. For example, we have English word P and B. We are making different words from these two words like pat, bat. So here we see that only changing one word in P and B, we changed the word and its meaning. Here the meaning changes only by changing the word, one word or one sound, we can say. So by changing one sound, we change the whole meaning. This is how phonology works. So its focus is on rules of sound combination. So how the sounds works, and by changing one sound, we change the whole meaning. So in Hindi, there is aspirated versus non-aspirated sounds matter. Aspirated sounds are those which where we put more stress, and non-aspirated or unaspirated sounds are those where we do not put any stress. For example, in English, we have the three sounds of like T, K and P. When these sounds come initially, or these letters come initially in any word, these they are aspirated. For example, we have the word play and speak. So here in word play, the P comes initially, so it will be aspirated. Here we put more stress on the letter P. Like we have heard the pronunciations of Britishers where they do not say play, they say play. So they put more stress on P when it comes initially in the word. Wherever when it comes in the between or in the ending, it is not aspirated, it's unaspirated, and we do not put stress on it. Like we simply say speak, we do not say speak, but we simply say speak because it's unaspirated. So these three sounds T, K, P, wherever they come initially in the words, they will be aspirated, means we put more stress on these. So this all phonology, it's all about the rules of sound combinations, the rules we make within our language about sounds, that like how, where it will be aspirated, where it will be unaspirated, where we will put more stress, where how will the voice go, how will the pitch go. So it's all about the rules of sounds. Then we have morphology. Morphology deals with the structure of words, how words are structured or how words are made. So it studies how words are formed from smaller units called morphemes. So morphemes are the smallest meaningful parts within the word. For example, we have this word unbreakable. In this word, our root word is break, our suffix is able, and our prefix is un. So prefix are the words which comes at the beginning of the word, and suffix are the word which comes at the ending of the word, and the main word is our break, which is the root word from which the whole word became. Now the root word is main meaning. So from the main meaning comes, and then prefix and suffix both are together called affix. So like in word teacher, er is our last at the which comes in the ending, er is our suffix, and in word unbreakable, un is our prefix. So both prefix and suffix are types of affix. So there are example like unhappiness. In unhappiness, un is our prefix, happy is our root word, and ness is our suffix. Then we have syntax. So morphology was about the structure of words, wherever syntax is all about structure of sentences. It studies how words combine into phrases and big sentences. Each language has rules, we know. For example, in Hindi we have this subject plus object, S plus O plus V structure, wherever in English we have S, V O structure. So for example, in Hindi we say वो आम खाता है. वो is our subject, आम is our object, and khana is our verb. Wherever in English she is our subject, eats is our verb. So verb comes before object, wherever in Hindi our object comes before verb. So it's all about the structure of sentences, the structure within the language of the sentences. So syntax deals with the structure of the sentences. Then semantics deal with the literal meaning of words. For example, the word child, we have the meaning of child, a young human being. So the literal meaning we have about the words, semantics deal with that. Then we have pragmatics. Pragmatics means meaning in context. For example, we use any word, we have the literal meaning of the word, but when we use it in some other context, the meaning changes. So for example, here, can you pass the salt? The literal asks about ability. Can you pass the salt? So it asks about ability, but what it actually means, please pass the salt. So in this context our meaning has been changed. Then we look at macrolinguistics. So macrolinguistics is further divided into interdisciplinary and intradisciplinary branches. So we are going to look first at interdisciplinary branches. So interdisciplinary deals with language plus its relation with some other fields like society, mind, or in computers. So it deals with outside fields with language. So first of all, we have sociolinguistics. We can look at the word linguistics, which is language, and socio, which is society. So language plus society. So how society affects language? We see different dialects, different slangs, gender differences, class differences. So in sociolinguistics we look at effects of the society which it created on the language. For example, in different regions we see different languages. In India we can see various dialects in the language. In a particular state we see different dialects. So it deals with how society changed, the society affects the language, how language is changed within a particular society or community. For example, in India, so class differences, how different class speak different languages, how gender differences, how some words are used by only men and some words are used by only women. We deals with different dialects. Dialects is basically variation within a particular language or within a particular group. Then code switching. Code switching is like we use Hindi and English mix in our language. So it is now we can say English. It became English now. So it is code switching, the switching of one language to the other language. So sociolinguistics deals the effect of society onto the language. Then we have psycholinguistics. Psycholinguistics, psycho, which means the mind, and linguistics, language. So language plus mind, how our mind interprets some words, how our mind knows some rules about language earlier, or how it interprets itself about some phrases, sentences, or how it interprets about language itself. So studies how language is acquired, produced, understood and stored in the brain, how our mind produced the words. So some words which are within our mind from earlier, so how it produced that how it understood the language of the other, and how some words are stored within our brain even when they are not taught by society. For example, children say God instead of went. So we can see that some words are we taught to the child, like we have taught some different verb forms like jump, jumped, jumped. The child learned that verb form, and he used it with also with the another word like go, good, good, wherever the second form of go is went, not good. So the child interpret, or the child understood that if the other words form changed into ed, second and third form, then same will be happen with the go. So they interpret like that. So how our mind understand some things in that way, we didn't teach them to say like that, but they interpret itself in their own mind. Then we have computational linguistics. So computational is related to computer science or AI or chat GPT, we can say. Then linguistics is language. So it studies how to make computers process human language. We can see keyboards, our Google translates, speech recognition. Wherever we speak, the Google or the chatbot we have, it understands our language, our words. So how these computers process or understands language, so computational linguistics deals with that. Then we have anthropological linguistics, anthro, which is related to our culture, our humankind, mankind. So how language plus culture, how our language is connected with our traditions, culture and worldview. Then, for example, some tribes have many different words for snow, showing its importance in their life. So how a certain word or certain phrases are related only to some culture or some tribes, wherever they are not related to the other tribes or other groups do not speak these words or sentences. Only some kind of groups speak that. So how it deals with the specific culture. Then neurolinguistics, neuro, which is related to our brain. Then language plus brain is equals to neurolinguistics. So how language is represented in brain and how brain damage affects it. So our brain when got damaged, so our language is present in the left part of our brain, and when this part got damaged, we cannot speak, we cannot produce language. So this language disorder when comes from the when this left part is damaged, it is called aphasia. So this language disorder after a stroke or when our left part when it is damaged, this problem comes, the language disorder comes, and we say it aphasia. So this was interdisciplinary branches. Now we have intradisciplinary branches. So intradisciplinary branches deals with the expanded version of language itself. It does not more talk about the science, the structures or the meanings in the language, the sounds in the language, but it deals with more expansions of the language. So the applied areas, for example, applied areas are those areas when we use the language for where we use the language for society, or how it can solve the problems of society or of our parts. We do not link it with outside fields like society or psychology or neurolinguistics, etc., but we deals within the language itself. So first of all we have stylistics. So stylistics studies the style of language. So how ornate language is used, how rhetoric is used, how various words, imagery, rhythm and grammar is used in the language, how it is ornated or how styled it become when the writer or the poet used it in the literature. So stylistics deals with that. Then we have discourse analysis. So discourse analysis goes beyond single sentences. It is about full conversations. How for example in PhD we write full research papers. So it is a large conversation, a large speech. So it does not talk about this the single sentences or words, but it deals with the enlarged context of language. For example, a political speech may use repetition and pauses to persuade listeners. So it's a whole political speech. It's not just certain words or sentences. Then applied linguistics. Applied linguistics, when we use linguistic knowledge to solve real problems of language. For example, in language teaching, how to teach language, translation, how to translate one language from one language to the other. Then speech therapy, when a person has language disorder, he or she can't speak language, then speech therapy is given to that person. Then dictionary making and various language policies, that how we can make language how we can make language better. Then for example, teaching English pronunciation using phonetics. Then we have historical linguistics. We also say historical linguistics diachronic. So diachronic means how the evolution of language, how it was in the starting and how it is now. So the whole process it came through, we deals with that in historical or diachronic linguistics. So the various changes it come across the time it came. For example, in old English we had this word hus. In modern English we have house instead of this hus. So the process of change within the language over the time, we deals with that in historical linguistics. Then we have comparative linguistics. So it compares languages to find similarities, differences and origins. So it compares language to the other language. For example, in Sanskrit mata and English mother. So in Hindi we say mata, in English we say mother. So it's the difference within the with the two languages. So it deals with how this word origined in this language and how this word is different from the other language. So it deals the differences or origins within the languages. So it was all about this lecture. I hope you liked the video and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.